What up? Today, I will be forging stainless steel utensils. We begin this project by isolating material to forge the scoop of the spoon. This is done with a hammer. The scoop will be flattened and widened. When the material is flattened and widened, we will begin the next step. The handle of the spoon will be tapered and stretched out. Observe how the handle of the spoon has been tapered and stretched out. Now, the end of the spoon's handle will be forged into another taper. Wow! When forging stainless steel, one must wear a respirator. When stainless steel is brought up to critical temperature, it off-gases chromium and nickel, which damages the brain when inhaled. The spoons and forks are roughed out, and the knives are going into the forge to be shaped. This is done with the same hammer. When forging stainless steel, it is important to consider wearing a respirator, because stainless steel, when brought up to critical temperature, will off-gas chromium and nickel, which can degrade your brain. And in order to make stainless steel utensils, you must have a perfectly functioning brain. It is time to forge the spikes on the end of the butter knives. Now that all of the utensils are roughly forged, it is time to move on to the next step. The spoons will be dished, and the forks will be forged some more. This is what the forks will look like. I will bend the tines away from each other to forge them more effectively. It is always a good idea to think about something before you do it. Now that the forks are forged, I will work on the spoons. Using a trailer ball hitch, I will hammer the spoons over the spherical shape to produce a scoop. Just look at that scoop shape. Wow! It is time to drill the forks because the holes get deformed during the forging process. Very cool. The process of bending the tines into shape requires a localized heat. This is done with an oxyacetylene torch. The forks will be shaped using a process called forging. Forging has been around for thousands of years. The butter knives will be serrated using this archaic technique. An axe is not necessary in using this archaic technique. The surface of the butter knives will be blended with accurately placed hammer blows. Now that the utensils are forged, it is time to sandblast them. To blast off all stainless steel, chromium, and nickel oxides, so that they are food safe. When I was a sandblaster, I was paid $19 an hour. Now that the surface of the steel is exposed, it is time to use a wire wheel. The wire wheel will give the surface of the metal a brushed texture. When I was in high school, we had a wire wheel in welding class. It liked to grab the part out of our hands and throw it into the ground. Because I am talented, this does not happen to me. With experience, the wire wheel will not snatch your project from your hand and throw it into the ground. And that is how I forged stainless steel utensils. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.